Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to another rendition of the Anthony Around Town Show, the best darn talk show in Elko, Nevada. I'm your host, Anthony Crosby. This is the weekly show where we just hop online as a community and talk about some cool people, some cool things, some cool whatever going on within the Elko area community. So I'm talking Carlin. We're talking Spring Creek. We're talking Elko, of course. All that sort of Elko County goodness all packed in to about 45 minutes. But as usual, I'm not doing this whole thing by myself. I am joined by one of my favorite people in the whole world. You know him. You love him. Camera man Matthew. What is up, buddy? How is... First thing I got to say, got to get props right off the bat. So the reason why a lot of people just didn't have school today, or maybe you were lucky enough not to have work today, is because today was a holiday. Mm-hmm. Today was the Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so we have to give it up for good old Dr. King, because without Dr. King, we would not be sitting here doing a live stream Facebook show on the weekly. Not even that, who cares about that? But heck, dude, we might not even be best bros if it wasn't for Dr. King.
Yeah, I don't like that thought.
Isn't that kind of scary? Yeah, that's kind of weird. So we got to give it up for Dr. King. Yes. So that's awesome. If you're watching this not on a Monday, then still, I mean, no matter what day of the week it is, you could always give some love to Dr. King. For real. Seriously. But nonetheless, what have you been up to, my man?
Honestly, just hanging out, doing my weeks kind of day by days and having fun doing what I do, you know? Just living life one day at a time. So, feeling good, yeah.
Let me say, turn my mic back on. There we go. So through your 2020, to kind of sum it up, you're about 2 weeks into a 52-week stretch, so you got 50 weeks left. You feeling good about this new year? How's it treating you so far?
Yeah, like I said, just honestly, I haven't had trouble writing 2020 instead of 2019, so I feel like I've started off pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't think I necessarily see it as like a new year, new me kind of thing. Sure, you're already which honestly, not right. Thank you. I think Pink told me that one time too. Is really good. Fair. It's an entire song, all about me. But yeah, no, it's like I'm not dogging on the whole new year, new me thing. I love it. It's a really good idea. It gives people this fresh start. But I'm just kind of seeing it as another day, which I'm just hanging out and chilling. I'm gonna be turning 25 in 3 days.
Wait, 23rd. What?
The 23rd.
23rd. What's the date?
The 20th. Yeah.
All right, I have my phone right here. So it's the 20th. So Matthew is 20. It's his birthday. Oh my gosh!
I know, that's what hit me too. That's why last night I was like, oh my it's gonna be 4 days until I'm 25.
That's nuts. So
which means you're turning 30.
Yeah, my birthday is on the 28th.
Yes.
So we'll celebrate my birthday next week because we still have 8 days until my birthday.
Yeah. So I get a birthday week. You get a birthday week.
This week is Matthew's day to celebrate your birthday. So I don't know. Is happy birthday copy? Is that a very
copyrighted?
Is it copyrighted?
I don't know. Isn't the guy dead though?
I don't know. So I'll just do my own. Here we go. My own version of the song.
Oh, for real? Thank you.
And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Happy birthday to Cameraman Matt. We love you. More than my nice hat, we are so thankful for everything that you do. So this is why I just have to say happy birthday to you.
Dude, that was #1 charts. Check it out on Apple Music.
Literally just did it off the top of my head. I know my voice is like, but seriously, dude, that's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Glad we're able to celebrate your birthday.
Pretty stoked.
Keep talking. Fell out.
You want to borrow mine?
No.
All right. Hey, Anthony, real quick. Quick question.
Okay.
I need you to close your eyes.
Okay, hold on.
All right. Maybe in a second. Sorry, some technical difficulties. But it's all good. It's all good. This is what you come to watch, right? Awesome.
Check. There we go.
Awesome.
I got so into that birthday song, I knocked my mic right off the cord. That's just how much you mean to me. You get me so excited. I damage our equipment. So happy birthday.
Quick,
so what's your question?
Close your eyes. What do you see, bro?
Darkness.
That's my world without you, bro.
Oh, that was sweet. You should save that for my birthday celebration next week.
I was thinking about it, but
Lame.
some technical difficulties.
Happen. That's what the kind of action, like Matthew said. This is why we do this live, so you can see all of our flaws. You can see all of our singing skills, unfiltered, unedited. Because this was a video, I would have cut and I would have edited that whole section out where my mic fell off. But this is raw. This is real. We're doing this together, and we would not be able to do this without just some awesome people here in the building that we're currently occupying right now. That would be the people who make up the awesome business of NV Off-Road, located at 1430 Stitzel Road, Suite A, NV Off-Road. So basically, if you have a power sports toy, we're talking snowmobile, we're talking motocross, we got ATV, all that sort of good stuff. We just know you don't want to be spending time messing around with stuff that's not working. Like I just did with my mic. That was annoying. Even though that was only like 2 minutes, I just hated it. I didn't want to do it. And I know that when it comes to your power sports, those big, complicated machines, it probably takes more than 2 minutes to kind of fix stuff sometimes. But you don't want to be wasting your energy on that. You need to get yourself some awesome assistance, and you can find that here at NV Off-Road. We love them because that's what they kind of help us make the studio space that you see the show streaming from every single week possible. So got to give our love to NV Off-Road right there. Also, I'm going to switch over to my Me camera and talk to you guys one-on-one. How's it going, everybody? And just remind you, as the show goes on, part of the reason why we do this live is so you could see our mistakes, like you just saw with the mic and the singing and all that. But the other big reason, probably the biggest reason, is so that we can talk to you. So we can engage with the community, because this is a community-driven show. And so if you want to join in the chat at any time throughout this evening, we're talking a lot tonight about some diverging opinions and stuff like that on a kind of a fun subject. So if you want to get on that, just feel free to use live chat. And throughout the evening, I will stop and I will peek at it, because we already got somebody. We got our good friend Nay. Nay Merrill, our editor of written content, she writes in and says hi, and she says you're going to be a quarter of a country. Oh, she said you're going to be a quarter of a century old. Yeah, that's right. Your quarter life is coming up.
That's what we were saying last night.
Let me switch this camera.
It was and then I was telling Elizabeth I'd have to come up with something super profound, but that doesn't actually mean anything. So something that sounds really profound.
For being a quarter of a century years old?
I told her I could do it, and so I think what I came up with, it was it took me 25 years to learn that 25 cents is just 25 cents.
Okay.
Right, and so super profound doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
But it gets pointed across that, don't work your life away.
Okay, yeah.
So you see what I mean? It's I don't know. Thought it was a funny play on.
Yeah, that's sure, interesting. Whatever. I get it. I guess I get it. I'm gonna cut back to being me because whatever. I don't know what you're talking about over there with the quarters and all that stuff. But wanted to also let you guys know that the Anthony Around Town is also made possible by some awesome sponsors that you can see right here. They are Iron Horse RV Resort, the Elko's Relay for Life, the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn, and the Hilton Garden Inn itself. They just financially have been part of the sponsorship team that just helps make this whole thing function every single week at a practical level. But I wanted to talk to you guys something, so now I'll actually switch back to my camera. Want to let you guys know that something exciting is taking place in a couple of weeks. So, we're celebrating Matthew's birthday this week. We'll celebrate my birthday next week. But come February 1st, something is going to take place within the Anthony Around Town realm that hasn't happened in really the entirety of its existence. For the first time in 2 years, really, we are going to be kind of expanding our expanding our operation and welcoming in some more sponsors into our Anthony Around Town sponsorship team. So this kind of goes out to specifically business owners or business leaders, managers, stuff like that. If you have just been, maybe looking through kind of how your business has been as far as advertising to the community and brand awareness and just overall perception and awareness of your business in general lately, especially heading into the new year. And you've been thinking, you know what, it'd be nice for us to find a different way to advertise, a unique way to advertise, a more modern way to advertise. Maybe consider partnering with Anthony Around Town. We're talking really Elko's premier source for everything digital media. So you guys know we got obviously this live stream show. We have our blogs, we have our videos, we have a podcast that just recently started up. So we've just kind of really been diving into that space here in the Elko area and have had, honestly, not to brag or anything, but a lot of success doing it. And so if you have kind of seen us around and kind of see the value of maybe working and, like I said, a different media space and advertising through those means, I would just, what I'm going to do after this video gets done, I just had Nay, speaking of Nay, our editor of written content, she actually was just proofreading and looking over a letter that I drafted up to some local businesses here in the community. And I'm going to post that letter probably in the comment section of this video if you're watching this on Facebook. If you're watching this on our main page or YouTube, then just please feel free to email me, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. But if you're watching this on Facebook, I'll post that letter down below. Maybe just give it a read because it does a better job that I'm just doing right now off the top of my head, kind of breaking down what the benefits and value of partnering with Anthony Around Town can bring to your business. Like I said, heading into this brand new year. So check that out. And hopefully we'll have some new business partners we'll be talking about a lot as we continue on with 2020. All right. Here's what the rest of this night is going to look like. Oh, let's go to the live chat and kind of see what's going on. Rachel Dunham says, hey there. What's up, Rachel? Good to see you tonight. Elaine, it gives you some birthday cake emojis. Aww, what's your, quick, off the top of your head, what's your favorite birthday cake? Go.
What's that? It's like German chocolate, kind of.
German chocolate?
Yeah,
that's my dad's favorite. Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a good one.
It's good. That's a good choice. So. And then your girlfriend, your beautiful girlfriend, says hello. So you gotta.
Hi, Elizabeth.
There you go. That's awesome. So with the rest of the show, we are going to be actually we have a little theme tonight because unbeknownst to me last week, I didn't plan it to be like this, but it just so happened to work out that both of the blogs that were published last week on our main site, anthonyaroundtown.com, so Wednesday and Friday, both happen to be centered around the idea of movies. So this has just become the unofficial movie episode of the Anthony Around Town live stream show. So we are going to be talking about movies in a couple different ways. So again, use that live stream because we want to hear from you. In a minute, we're going to read some Facebook comments on some of our followers who shared some of their favorite movies with us over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And then a little bit later, Matthew and I are going to share some of the films out there that kind of have a special place in our heart. But as the live stream goes on, you can be a part of that conversation. You can share some of your favorite flicks with us. We'll make sure we stop and read it. And then who knows? I was kind of thinking I might be generous if you participate in this conversation, either you did so over the weekend or you do so live right now, I might throw one person a gift card to one of the local theaters. How's that sound, Matthew? Does that sound like a generous thing to do?
Yeah, that sounds like a really good night, to be honest.
Okay, all right. Well, we might just keep that in mind. So last Wednesday, we published our main feature blog on a gal here in town named Toril Tapia. Yes. And if you don't know Toril, you probably should because she's awesome. You might not know her, but if you lived in Elko for a minute or so, you've probably seen her, especially if you've been to the movie theaters, because she is the general manager for the Cinema 6 Theater, kind of over, what's that shopping center? Elko Junction? Is that shopping center?
Rayleigh's.
With Rayleigh's and then all that stuff. So you know that theater. There's only 2 theaters in town. So it's not the downtown one, it's the Cinema 6. Yep. And Toril is the manager of that theater. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting, though, is that reason I was so stoked to talk to Toril was she just just hasn't just managed that theater even just for a little bit, but she's been doing stuff at both theaters, but she's been there for quite a while, like years and years and years. She's been a part of the local movie theater scene, and in fact, if you go read the blog, she talks about how it's kind of fate, because when she was young, when she was a little child, she was given a tour of the downtown theater, and so when she first got hired on with the theater, before, I think it's UEC is the name of the company now, but before the company that was the owners of the theaters hired her, West
Wind,
something West.
Movies.
But anyways, before they hired her, when they hired her, she went. What was it?
West States.
West States.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I could totally be wrong.
When they hired her, she went up and checked out like the projection booth and stuff like that, and it just seemed like super familiar and all that. And she went and talked to her mom, and her mom's like, "Well, that's because you've been up there before.
Nice.
This is not your first rodeo." So Toral is a local movie theater legend. So it's nice to chat with her, because we probably talked about this on one of the live streams before. I think I even said it in the blog, but the movie theater is probably like one of my favorite places in the whole world to go, locally or anywhere else, because there's just something nice about, you're just going through your day, you're going through your week, you're going through this and that, and kids and grocery shopping, and taxes are coming up, and maybe your favorite character on your favorite show died or got kicked off for some reason. You know what? You're just like, man, life is just insane. What's going on? So it's nice just to say, you know what? I'm just going to hop in my car, drive a little bit, get to the theater, get some popcorn if I'm feeling gluttonous, and kick back.
Some extra butter.
Extra butter, why not? The heart it's going to give out eventually. And I'm just going to chill, and I'm just going to kind of have this little escape for 2.5 hours, hour and a half, 3 hours, whatever it is. And I'm going to watch these testosterone-filled buff men drive cars off buildings. And I'm going to watch these supermodel 30-year-olds pretend like they're teenagers in high school for some reason. And I'm gonna watch all this stuff, because it's just, a nice, relaxing getaway sometimes. So that's what I like. People are weird. I don't know if we talk about your stance on this. Some people think I'm weird. I don't really care. But I'm even to the point where, I'm fine. Honestly, sometimes I might prefer it, going to the movies by myself. Just like I said, kicking back and just doing me and, hanging out. So what do you think about the movies? Are you a movie-going guy, Matthew?
Honestly, I don't go as much, but it is definitely fun. Whether you do go in a group, I think honestly there was way back when I was super excited for it was when I went to the movies. I think it was for one of the Avenger movies, and I went with you, Pastor Nathan, Pastor David. It was I think Pastor Garrett and part of his family. There was just a huge group that went to the movie theaters, and it was I was just super super stoked. But then there's other times where I think I went to go see Identity Theft by myself, and it was just super. It's just really chill. It is definitely, like you were saying, an escape for 2 hours. It's sometimes I'll go to the movie theaters, and by the time I'm leaving, I'm like, oh, this is I've been gone for ages.
That's why I like going in when it's daytime and then coming out when it's night. You feel like even though you've been in there for a little bit, you're like, nice. It's really cool. And we're not only the only ones. Nate says she's actually planning on going to the movies by herself soon. So I think it's nice. I mean, honestly, the reason why I kind of like it is because I'm kind of a jerk and a stickler when it comes to movies. Some people are like, oh, yeah, if you're going on a date, go to the movies, stuff like that. But I'm not like that, or even going with friends, because I just want to go. I just want to sit. I just want to watch the movie. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear your jokes. I don't want to get commentary in my ear. I don't want to ask, hey, do you want me to go get some? I don't care. I just want to sit. I just want to watch the movie, and I just want to be there. And like I said, I know that's kind of a jerky attitude, but even my kids, there's two things I hate taking my kids to. It's number one, the grocery store. hell.
Oh.
Number 2 is the movie theaters. I can't stand taking them to the movies because again, I just took them to see Frozen 2 a few weeks ago. Like I'm not the biggest Frozen guy in the world, but I'm at the movies. I'll watch it. I'll get into the plot. Literally, we probably made it like I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And then my kids were like all over the place. They're over it. They wanted to go. They were done. And thankfully, I don't care that much about Frozen. So I'm like, fine, let's go. But any other movie, like Toy Story 3 came out, didn't take them to see it. I went by myself. Lion King came out, didn't take them to see it. I went by myself. So if I do take my kids to the movie, I'll go see it first and actually just take it in and enjoy it, and then I'll take them. So that way, when they get nuts, they'll want to bounce. But I'm super picky. I can't do it.
I get it.
Emily Covert says she talks too much for the movies. It's true. I've gone to the movies with her, and she's chatty. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm in the same.
Are you?
I love having a really solid joke and just like leaning.
See,
over
I just
and being
don't care. Save it for me afterwards. Let's go get a drink afterwards and talk about it. Elaine says she doesn't. Actually, don't take her to the movies. It's the only time in her life that I talk too much. Really? So Elaine, Nay, you're a movie theater talker. So maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody else goes to the movies and just has fun, and it's just goofing around, and I'm just like over here like Mr. Stickler. So maybe I just need to get the stick out of my butt.
Like three rows behind, being like,
Yeah. So I apologize. But so anyways, we had a good conversation with Toril talking about the movies. Now I really have an itch to go to the movies. So I guess Toril kind of did her job by talking with me. So we appreciate that conversation we had with her. Overall, she's just a really awesome, nice person. And so if you go to the theater, you see somebody at the name badge that says Toril, tell her that you say hi and you heard her from Anthony Around Town. Yeah. I'd love to give her some love that way. But over the weekend, what we did is I just kind of threw it out there to our followers on Facebook and asked them what some of their favorite movies are. Maybe their favorite movie-going experiences. Maybe not even their favorite movies, but movies that just stood out as memorable times in their lives. And so we got a few that Matthew's just going to read, and then I'll listen to them. I kind of know what they are because I'm the one who put these notes together, but I don't remember every single one of them. So let's just you share them with me, and when I'll make my little comments as I usually do.
Yeah, definitely. So our first one that we have on the list is Tammy Casey, Dr. Dolittle, the first movie that her mom had taken her to go see. And then she has two other ones, Princess Bride, which I was actually going to name as well. Such a solid movie.
Princess Bride is probably one of the most all-time classic movies.
It is. It's such a good movie. And then Tombstone. I haven't
Tombstone,
seen
that's
that
a Western movie. That's pretty classic. But the Dr. Dolittle, if you're talking about I don't know if there's another one besides
There
this.
is a new
The Eddie,
one
there's a
coming
new
out.
one, but I think the one she might be talking about is the Eddie Murphy one.
Yeah.
Because that's I don't know if there's one before that.
I think he's done like Dr. Dolittle 2 and 3.
Yeah, there's been 2. I don't think there's there's like
I don't know if there's
a direct to DVD third one, but I don't even think Eddie Murphy's in it.
Oh.
But the first Dr. Dolittle, I remember that movie. I remember watching that. I don't
I
know.
was like super young.
Yeah, I was young, 90s. Anthony
it
running
was a
around.
good movie. It's like he's always.
She said that was the first time she'd been in a movie at the movie theater. Is that what she said?
First movie her mom took her to.
Nice. Okay.
It was a good one.
Pretty cool. All right, what's next?
Second one, we have Cynthia Shedd, Anastasia.
Anastasia?
Anastasia.
Mhm.
I just can't pronounce words. The animated movie, it's an understated classic. My sister and I have many memories with it, and even got to go see it on Broadway this past year, and it was pure magic.
I didn't know it was on Broadway.
I think that's the one with it's like Mickey Mouse, right?
No, that's Fantasia.
Oh, Fantasia.
Fantasia. That's a good movie, too. Fantasia is about this Russian... I don't know if she's a princess or something. But I just remember there's a white bat in the movie. His name's Bartok. And I liked Bartok. I had a little Bartok doll when I was young, and it made some noise. But Anastasia is cool. I do remember it. What's cool about Anastasia is that was a Fox movie. And now Fox is owned by Disney. So technically, Anastasia is a Disney princess now. So that's kind of cool. Russian Disney princess. Yeah, it was a good movie.
All right. So now we have Michelle Mosley, Man from Snowy River and Boondock Saints, Ooh, and the Cowboys with John Wayne. So
Boondock Saints. I think every male who was in college in the college dorm in the 2000s had a Boondock Saint poster hanging on their wall. That's kind of like the go-to thing. So that's
Will
good.
Smith that was in it, right?
No, I don't think that was Will Smith.
Oh no, that was Boys in the Hood.
Boys of the Hood.
Yeah, no,
Bad
which
Boys?
one?
Is that what you think about?
No, was it Boys? I don't know.
I don't know.
Which one? So which one's Boondock Saints? Do you know? I've never been to college, so I never had.
Yeah, I'll have to show you. I haven't seen it in like a long, long time. But I just know it was pretty popular with the young adult dudes. What was the other one on her list?
Man from Snowy River, and then the Cowboys with John Wayne.
John Wayne Cowboys. Yeah. My grandpa was pretty into those old Western movies. That's a genre that really hasn't made a comeback. You know.
You want to know what was a really good? I'm gonna just slip one of my entries in.
Okay,
right
a little
here.
tease into what you like.
Did have Will Smith. Was
What?
Wild Wild West.
You like that movie?
Oh yeah, that was a good one. I liked it.
Oh, man.
That's like the most cowboy one that I know though.
That
not
was
that I
like-
know, but that like I like.
That was like classic peak Will Smith, where he was just thrown into like these random movie, like Men in Black, Wild Wild
Yeah.
West, stuff like that, where he just walk around being like, "Woo, yeah, ha ha ha, yeah, woo."
I thought it was pretty funny. It's silly.
It was
So
crazy.
watching that as a kid, you know.
I just remember
Seems
when they were
super
doing
great.
promos for that movie back in whenever late 90s, early 2000s. Burger King made like a tasty Western burger to help promote that movie, and it was delicious. So okay, I get that. Or anybody else give their picks?
Yep,
Because
we
Nay,
have
real quick,
two
Nay
other-
says she loves Anastasia. Definitely underrated. We might have to have a movie night and rewatch Anastasia because I haven't seen it at all. I remember it. I just it's not like a Mulan or Aladdin that I could like retell you the whole plot off the top of my head right now. So
Yeah. So we have two more. Elaine Kissel, McClintock.
see,
First
I
watched it with my dad.
I totally
That's
forgot.
hard to pronounce.
I
Clintlock.
was talking to Elaine a little bit about this when she wrote that post, and I told her I had never seen it, or I don't think I've ever really heard of it.
Honestly, I don't think I've heard of it either.
So I was gonna watch. I was gonna watch the trailer tonight before the show, but I just
Yeah.
spaced it.
I was gonna look it up too, but I was a little later than I wanted to be. And then lastly, we have Tina Diedrichson, the original Air Bud. I'm friends with the owner. That was the only movie that truly had a story and had the real Air Bud in it. The backstory was that the owner, Kevin, found himself as a stray up in the mountains. So
Dang, that's crazy.
that's a story to tell.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I remember Air Bud. That movie changed my
I
life.
remember there was a lot of.
There's a lot. There's Air Bud,
You have the
basketball,
ones, I think
football,
soccer,
soccer, volleyball,
They I think literally
every sport pretty
Yeah,
much.
had like a
Softball, for some reason he was able to play softball. And then he had puppies, and then his puppies
yeah.
had movies where they like hung out with Santa Claus and I don't know, did a bunch of random other stuff.
Jeez.
But yeah, Air Bud turned into his own cinematic franchise. But I do remember Air Bud because I watched that movie the most was the basketball one because I've always been
I
super
do.
into basketball. So I remember.
Get
And I actually I forgot about this. I had a lab golden retriever mix growing up. She's my best friend in the whole world. Rest in peace, Petra. But so I remember being in the backyard and trying to teach her some hoops, like trying to get her to shoot threes and make a free throw and at least dribble. But she wasn't really into. She's more into track and field because as soon as you let the garage door open, she would book it out of the garage so fast and go running down the road, and then we'd have to go hunt her down. But yeah, I remember everybody. I feel bad for the kid rewatching it now as an adult because for Buddy the dog to have made the basketball team, that means some poor kid had to get cut. So I just feel bad for the kid who had to go home and tell his mom and dad like, hey, I didn't make the basketball team. Not because Jeff or Doug beat me, but because this dog was a better basketball player. Literally, an animal without opposable thumbs was a better basketball player than me. So, yeah, that's the stuff I think about. All right, I don't know how to pronounce that, Elaine, but she's talking about that movie that she. What was the name of the movie? Yeah. Spell it out so the people can YouTube the trailer.
MCCLINTOCK.
Okay, so there you go. Go YouTube that. I'm going to do that as soon as we're done, Elaine, so I can know what movie. I mean, obviously, it's an important movie to you. So in a minute, Matthew and I are going to talk about some movies that are special and near and dear to us. But really quick, got to give some more love to our sponsors. So let me put that back up. Got to give some love to the Hilton Garden Inn, the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn, Iron Horse RV Resort, and then Elko's Relay for Life. And then, as I said, let me talk to you really quick one more time. Get that down. If you are a business owner here in town or a business manager or something involved with leading a business or brand here in Elko, I announced at the top of the show that Anthony Around Town is actually expanding to partner up with more businesses here in the community to kind of help, number one, promote more businesses here in Elko, because we have a pretty good reach here in the community with all the digital media stuff that we're doing. So maybe you're looking to expand and think outside of the box when it comes to your advertising, but we just want to continue to grow ourselves as a brand and do more stuff in the town. So we just know we just need to partner with more businesses. So what I'm going to do is after this video is done, I'm going to put a little letter that I wrote up kind of explaining the benefits of partnering with Anthony Around Town as a business, becoming one of our official sponsors, and working with us in that capacity. So just if you're watching this on Facebook, just look down in the comment section and you'll find that letter. And then tomorrow, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start just sending out some emails to some of you who have inquired about partnering with Anthony Around Town as a sponsor before, but we just weren't looking to expand in that way at that time. But now that we are, be checking your inbox, because you might be it might be something we can talk about now in an exciting way. Or if you would like to know more about that and you want to make sure you get one of those emails, then you can just email me, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. Something I forgot to mention at the top of the show. So I like to structure our sponsorships program, how we work with advertisers and stuff like that, to more of quality rather than quantity. So what that means is when you come to an Anthony Around Town video or blog or what have you, you're not going to see 10 or 20 logos all over the place and me reading, a whole list of nothing but sponsor ads and stuff like that, because that's just not what I'm about, for a couple reasons. Because I just know when you come to this content, you're coming not to see a whole bunch of logos all over the place, but to get the content. And so I understand that. But number two, there's only a few of us who make this whole Anthony Around Town thing happen every single week. We don't have a huge sales team. We don't have a huge marketing. We don't have all that stuff. And so I just want to make sure that when we partner with the business sponsor, we're giving them the best of our ability and giving them all those benefits that I'm going to lay out in this letter. And we're just not spreading ourselves too thin. So again, quality over quantity. So we're really only going to be taking total, even if we get 10 businesses, 20 businesses interested in partnering with us, we're probably only going to take a total of 6 at this time, 6 business partners. And we actually already have one of those spots filled. We actually already have a new business who's going to be official part of this team that we're going to announce very soon. So actually, we're down to 5. We have 5 spots left open for new sponsorships here at Anthony Around Town. So if you want to grab one of those, or you just want more information about what grabbing one of those looks like, again, just see the letter at the bottom of this video, or email me, Anthony, at Anthony. That's my name. You can email me, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. All right, so let's see what some of these live chats have to say. She says, I'm dating myself, but Elaine is big into the Shirley Temple movies.
Oh, yeah.
Shirley, let me set the camera so I can get your reaction. Are you a big Shirley Temple fan? You remember animal crackers in my soup, monkeys and rabbits, loop the
Yeah, I know the songs, I know the name, but I don't think I can actually remember any of the movies. They're good ones.
Yeah, Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple's pretty cool. Shirley Temple's pretty cool. And then Nay says she wishes she was there to edit us in person. Probably because we're stumbling all over these movie titles and words, but whatever. We're having fun. This is the beauty of live. You just never know what you're gonna get. It's always a good time around here. But we do have to keep moving on. So the second article that we posted last week actually came out on Friday, and that was kind of a follow-up conversation we had with a gentleman named Russ Minter. Russ and his whole family sat down with me to talk about their gaming business a few months ago. So they provide like local entertainment to like Pizza Barn and the casinos and stuff like that through their like arcade games and their coin machine games and all that sort of good stuff. So super cool person. We talked to them in the past, but this time we were talking to Russ because he's actually the head chair, if you will, of the Great Basin Film Festival, or the Great Basin College Film Festival that's coming up next month. Now, some of you may not even know that Elko actually legit has an annual film festival, and Matthew's holding up a flyer. I'll hold up a flyer right now to actually show you this is real. So this is real. Camera A, camera B. Let me show you. This is real. The Great Basin College Film Festival. And not even that, I can just switch back to camera A and just do that bad boy. Cover up Matthew's face with the poster itself. Sorry, buddy. But this is good. I want people to know this because a lot of people, let's just be honest. Let's just real talk for a second. Sometimes people in Elko, especially been here for a while, they'll say, oh, man, there's not a whole lot to do. There's not a lot of, different stuff going on. But, maybe there is. You just might not have heard about it, which is fair. And so that's part of why we do this here at Anthony Around Town, to kind of help spread the word about cool stuff going on in our neighborhood. And this film festival is definitely one of them, because this isn't the first rendition of this film festival. This isn't the second annual event. This is actually going to be its 15th year of the Great Basin College Film Festival. So Russ and I sat down and we talked about all the details. You can go to anthonyaroundtown.com, read the article to get all the details. But you can see it's actually a 2-weekend event. So Valentine's Day, the 14th to the 15th of February, you can go catch some movies. So if you are not like me, and you do like taking dates to the movies and you like doing that whole thing, then, maybe grab your sweetheart, get some tickets, and go check out some different movies that you're not going to see here in Elko otherwise throughout the rest of the year. But then also the 21st and the 22nd, you are going to be able to catch the film festival as it continues on into the next week. The big movie that they're actually playing during this film festival is a film called Parasite. It just won for Best Foreign Film at the Golden Globes. And then we have our Oscars, the Academy Awards coming up in a couple of weeks. Parasite is nominated for a bunch of awards at that ceremony, including Best Picture. So if you want to see this critically acclaimed, beloved movie on the big screen, it wasn't playing in any of our local theaters. I'm sure Toro would have loved to have it, but we just couldn't get it. Just didn't work out. Well, Russ and his committee at the Great Basin College Film Festival have been able to acquire it. So it's a lot of fun. Not only do you get to check out all these shorts and documentaries and animated films and, again, critically acclaimed movies like Parasite at this film festival, but you also get fed. You get some tasty foods. The film festival themselves has awesome culinary sponsors we're going to be representing there. So, like I said, probably the best thing that you can do, since we're running low on time here tonight, is to go to anthonyaroundtown.com. You'll find the article on this film festival and all the details and Russ's insight and how he got involved with this whole thing and the history of the film festival. It's all going to be over there. So, Matthew, pretty cool that we have this film festival in town. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there. I want to go check it out. I want to see Parasite. Yeah, I think it's going to be it's going to be a good time. But this just got me thinking. Let's just say somebody came to us and like, hey, we're going to give you some money, and we want you to curate your own film festival. So let's just say we're going for 4 films at this festival. Just one day shindig. What are some films? And we'll kind of go back and forth. What are some films that would be at your film festival? I want to hear from you, and then I'll share what would be at mine and why. So first for you, what would be at your film festival?
Purely based off of the movies that I like, because if it was based on just general film festival, I think I'd choose some different ones. But the ones that I like, I definitely would do Spirited Away, Studio Ghibli film. Such a good movie. It's an animated film. I love it. I watched it as a child, and it's just really cool concept and everything. I would say Princess Bride, but that's already been mentioned.
More than one person can like Princess Bride.
Yeah, but I came up with some other ones.
Okay.
Case. I'd probably go with Mulan. Mulan? You had mentioned it.
The animated movie? Oh, yeah, good pick.
It's honestly just not the second one, because there was a second one. I don't know.
That was trash.
But I think, and I have a pretty good structured argument as well as to why Mulan's like the best Disney movie. So.
That's a hot take. I definitely think, I don't know about best Disney movie, but I think Mulan's definitely the best Disney princess of all time.
For me, definitely best movie.
Okay,
me and my
fair.
buddy. Yeah, you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm wrong.
Me and my buddy actually went through all the Disney Pixar movies and stuff.
Really?
And did kind of like which one's better out of these two, which about these two and stuff.
Okay.
And so, it's not my favorite, I don't think, but it is, I think, just probably the best Disney movie. I'd do Star Wars Return of the Sith, because...
The third movie?
Yes.
Episode 3?
The one where
over
Anakin gets his legs and arm chopped off.
You would take that over any of the original 3, 4, 5, 6? Wow, that's controversial.
Really one though is because for I think it was my 10th or 11th birthday, my father figure, I'm pretty sure pirated that movie onto a little CD.
Okay.
And I got it as a birthday gift.
Oh, okay. I get it. I
could watch just because I had it on the CD, and I didn't have a whole lot of those, way back when I was a kid. And then Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is another animated movie. It's just a really cool movie, I think. I'm not sure if many people like it, but it's got some good action scenes.
Nice.
A little love interest in there and everything. So it's a good movie. I love it. So.
Okay, I'll give you 4 of mine. I'll kind of break down why. Number 4, I'm going with a movie called John Carter. It's a Disney movie. It's amazing. It should have been named something else besides John Carter, because you hear John Carter and you think it's going to be like some football movie or something random like that. Wild West. But no, it's actually about this guy who gets teleported to Mars and has to help this underclassed Martian people fight back against some other Martians who are not so kind. But here's the reason why. Is because I think you're right. It's all about experience. Because you watch the movie John Carter and you're like, whatever, it's just a fine movie. But I remember when this was going out, I was going through relational stuff, stuff with girls, all that stuff, whatever. And I was just like, so dramatic. I'm so heartbroken. I'm so sad. All I want to do is go to Walmart and buy pizza and ice cream and rent a movie and just go sit in my room and just feel so sorry for myself. So I was watching the movie, just giving up on love, giving up on the ladies and all that. But you get to the end of the movie. So Mars is Mars, Earth is Earth. So John Carter, he's from Earth, but he gets teleported to Mars. While he's there, he does all this cool stuff, but he falls in love with this princess. And he wants to be with her for the rest of their life. I think they actually get married. But something happens, and he's actually teleported back to Earth. So him and his love, they're not across the country or across the world. They're literally on 2 different planets, separated from each other. So that's whoa. But then 12 years, John is spending trying to get back to Mars, back to his princess, back to the love of his life. And finally, at the end of the movie, he gets the thing that he needs to get to teleport back. And to make the thing work, he has to say like 5 or 6 random Martian words. And he's just sitting there clutching the MacGuffin, saying the words. And you just see him teleport back to his wife. And I was just like, oh, that's deep. That's good. That's powerful. That got me in the heart.
And you're over here trying to get rid of love.
Yeah, I was going to get rid of love, but he
10,
showed
12
me
years,
12 years of fighting to get back Mars for the woman you love. So that is like one of the best. So I like that.
You learn.
You do. You learn from your movies.
Yes.
Number three. This movie taught me. Well, this movie kind of represents the fact that I like movies that are just different and unique, and kind of like everything else in my life. I don't like movies that are by the book, factory produced, studio meddling type things. I like movies someone's like, dude, here's an interesting idea. Let's turn this into a movie. Nobody else is doing this. So this movie is represented by a film called Disturbia. And here's what Disturbia is about. You know what it's about?
No.
Okay, it's about my guy Shia LaBeouf. You might know of that name.
But
he, long story short, his dad passes away at the beginning of the spoilers, I guess. Passes away at the beginning of the movie, and he's just dealing with it in an unhealthy way. He ends up punching his Spanish teacher in the face. He gets presented in front of a judge for that assault. He ends up getting put on house arrest. Just doing the usual stuff. He's playing video games. He's eating junk food the whole time. But eventually he just, makes his mom annoyed. She's like, I'm cutting off your Wi-Fi, taking away your video games. You're not going to do anything but sit here. You're on punishment. So to occupy his time, he finds a pair of binoculars and he starts just spying on his neighbors. And, there's a cute girl next door. There's kids over here causing trouble. There's the guy who just has the routine. So he gets to know all of his neighbors just through the binoculars. But right across the street, there's one neighbor and he's a little sketchy. Mm-hmm. He's bringing people over to his house and they may or may not be leaving his house alive. There may or may not be bodies in his trunk. But
who knows?
Shia LaBeouf's character can't prove it because he can't step out of his house because he has the little house arrest bracelet beeper thing on his ankle. So if he goes past his yard, it goes off, the cops show up, and he gets in trouble. So he has to literally solve this crime and take down this murderer while being constrained to his front yard. So stuff like that, I love it. Love it. Random, out of the box, that's my thing. Number 2, I'm just going any Denzel Washington movie because Denzel is literally my favorite actor. He's my man. So if you got to talk about Inside Man, John Q, Fences, Book of Eli, all that sort of stuff. If it's Denzel, I'm going to be there. Training Day. You can't forget Training Day. I would quote one of his lines in that movie, but it has a cuss word in it. I don't want to. This is a family show. But anyways, Denzel Washington is the man. Love me some Zell. So that's terrible. And then my number one, how I'd end the day is I would end it. Who was the first person on that list? What was her name? Tammy?
Yeah,
Casey?
Tammy
Casey. So Tammy says the first movie she remembers going to see at the theater with her mom was Dr. Dolittle. The first movie I remember going to the theater to see was actually my favorite Disney movie, the first Toy Story. Toy Story 1.
And it all comes together. Toy Story, that's why, went to go see Toy Story 3. It all just comes together.
Yep, exactly. So Toy Story would be my favorite because that's the first movie I remember seeing. Just made me fall in love with movies and all that sort of good stuff. Going to the movies, even as a young kid, like I said, my kids are crazy. They can't sit still in the theater for 5 seconds. But my mom will even tell me today, like I would sit there, just give me a popcorn and the movie screen, and I didn't care who was around me. A lot like I am today. I just like the whole experience. So those would be that would be our film festival. I guess we're both ending our film festival with the Disney movie, aren't we?
It's honestly, it's insane. I'm just thinking of all the different movies that are like The Bourne Ultimatum.
Good movie. If you guys never seen, there's another good movie. If you haven't seen a movie called Locke, Tom Hardy, super good. Literally, it's just him. He's the only person, physical character in the whole movie. Only person, his face you see. It's literally just him driving in a car for an hour and a half by himself, talking on the phone to his family and his coworkers. probably the most intense movie I've ever seen, and it's just him driving in a car by himself. It's amazing. So there's a lot of good movies out there.
So many that deserve like shout-outs and
Totally. So maybe we'll have to do a movie week part 2.
For real.
So obviously that's something we're into. So there's that. So again, Great Basin Film Festival, Great Basin College Film Festival coming up in February. Make sure you keep checking. And we'll talk more about this film festival as it gets closer. We'll remind you guys. Obviously, it's like a month away. We just wanted to put it on your radar right now because it's a pretty cool event. Speaking of cool videos, we just released our latest project last Thursday. Our pizza challenge video. I think I called it Carlin Residents Judge Elko Pizza versus Spring Creek Pizza. If you haven't a chance to watch it, I go check it out. It's on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. It's just as it sounds. We went undercover and got 4 pizzas from 4 different locations around Elko and Spring Creek. And then we met up with some ladies who've lived in Carlin for a minute, and they judged who had the better pizza, Elko or Spring Creek. So anything, now that we don't really have to tease it, it's out, people have seen it. Anything you want to share about that video that we did? We made that video. I said this in the video, but we shot that video like a month and a half ago, back in 2019. So do you even remember making that video?
A little bit. I know it was fun because I remember we were doing the whole undercover thing. I felt like I was an undercover agent. Had to be super, right? There was car races. You know, I had to get to the other pizza places so that way the pizza didn't get cold, So it's action-packed. It has car races, some undercover agents, spy movie.
And then pizza, pizza's... Oh, yeah. Can't go wrong with pizza.
Honestly, it was fun. It was one of those things where we just got to go and just kind of do what we want to do, go around town, meet some people while we're driving, right? We got to meet people in Carlin. Yep. And just hang out and do what we do. It was a blast. It was definitely go check it out. Doesn't matter if you prefer Elko Pizza, Spring Creek Pizza. Doesn't matter your favorite company. It's a fun video to kind of be in and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So.
Yeah, hopefully you guys liked it. It was a lot of fun. Denise Crosby, my mom, says the pizza video is so good. So I'm glad you liked them. I'm glad I got that mom seal of approval. So for this week, we have some new content coming out. We talked about last week's content already, so we'll move on to this week. Thursday, actually this Thursday and next Thursday, so the next 2 Thursdays, we're going to have new episodes on the Anthony Around Town podcast coming out. So 2 back-to-back weeks with new podcast episodes. This week is an exciting one I've been wanting to do for years and years and years before I even came up with this whole Anthony Around Town thing, because it's actually with one of my oldest friends. So I'm actually going to play the trailer right now, and hopefully this will get you guys interested in this Thursday. So here we go. This week we have a very special guest, and I'll get into why he is so special and near and dear to my heart in just a second. But first, I should probably tell you his name. Today we have Mr. Austin Whitney of Kimball Midwest. At first, I'm going to take a drink of this tasty adult beverage that you provided me. We have actually been friends for a long time. I think since we were 15, 16 years old maybe. We actually moved to Elko the exact same day. Back in 2011?
June of 2011. I don't know the exact date.
Yep. I just remember you were driving this gold truck. I was driving my little junky red Lanos Daewoo that I was honestly nervous would make the 4-hour trip from Reno to Elko.
Don't forget the forest green minivan in between.
How can I forget the forest green minivan? Well, that's a Ford Windstar. That's what that
Ford
was.
Windstar. That thing was sweet.
Baby, that was nice.
Blacked out windows, 2 missing chrome hubcaps.
Honking at the ladies, seeing what was up. Didn't ever work.
I did once. I did a couple times.
Would you rather be a reverse centaur, so horse head, human body, or a reverse merman, fish head, human body? You are given a choice.
I either give you a suitcase full of $1 million, and you can take that suitcase full of money, but if you take that, that means you will never be able to watch or cheer for a Bay Area sports team ever again. Oh, okay. I was not expecting that.
All right. So, yeah, that is the podcast coming out this Thursday. Right now, the podcast is still on our main page, anchor.fm/Anthony Around Town, where you can also find it on Spotify. We're still waiting for official approval to get it on iTunes and all that. Should hear about that very soon. We'll let you know when it is. But yeah, new podcast. And we're actually talking about one of those questions while the video is going. One of the questions I asked Austin is, would you rather be reverse centaur, horse head, human body, or reverse merman, fish head, human body? I won't tell you what Austin and I both agreed on the video or on the podcast. You'll listen to that on Thursday. But Matthew, what did you say your answer was?
I think it's obvious. I would rather have a giant horse head, you know? It's like people do this at Walmart anyways. They run around with this rubbery horse head. And you know, your legs and stuff. If you're a fish with human legs, you can't use your legs because you got to stay in the water. Yeah, you can swim, but it's so much easier with fins and stuff instead of legs. So I think horse head is just a little bit more practical.
Okay, yeah.
Run around scaring people, get a job at the carnival, stuff like that. You know.
Okay. Well, if you want to see what Austin said, then just check out the podcast coming out this Thursday. Also, Wednesday's pretty special. So we're having a new blog feature on Wednesday, obviously, as we usually do. But really interesting fact about this Wednesday's blog, and we're probably going to do something special for it. But this Wednesday is the 100th Wednesday main blog feature. So this is not even including Small Business Friday blogs or follow-up blogs or special blogs, but this is just 100 weeks of focusing on Elko, focusing on an individual here in Elko. So it's crazy. Again, that's just 100, just those blogs, not including anything else. But it's crazy that we've already done 100 of these. It's wild. So, yeah, we're going to probably do something special for that blog on Wednesday. So help us celebrate that. And we'll talk more about that next Monday on the Anthony Around Town show. Let me turn back to my camera one more time and just remind you that Anthony Around Town is brought to you by our sponsors, the Hilton Garden Inn, the Garden Grill and Bar located in the Hilton Garden Inn, Elko's Relay for Life, and Iron Horse RV Resort. But we are in the process of taking on new business sponsors. So if you'd like to partner up with Anthony Around Town and advertise and promote your business or your brand in a way that's outside of the box and modern and effective and all that sort of good stuff, personal, fun, any type of adjective you want to throw in there, then just check out the letter that's at the bottom of this video, in the comment section of this video. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching anywhere else, or you just want to get this letter, you just want to kind of know what the benefits of partnering with us are, what that even looks like, then you can just email me, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. Also, since I have you, I'll let you know that you can email us for anything if you just head over to our email address, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. Maybe you want to recommend somebody to be featured on a future article or video. Maybe, excuse me, maybe you have a question, maybe you have a comment or concern, maybe you have something for Matthew's birthday that you want to drop off to his house and you need to know his address, then shoot us a message, anthonyaroundtown@gmail.com. That's so you can get a hold of us. Obviously, we're all over social media. We're here on Facebook. We're also over on Instagram. Just search Anthony Around Town. YouTube, search Anthony Around Town. Anchor, where our podcast is, just anchor.fm/Anthony Around Town. We're all over there. But as usual, if you're hearing all this and you're like, man, you're talking about podcasts, you're talking about pizza videos, you're talking about 100 blogs and all this stuff, I can't keep up on all that you're doing, Anthony. You got to make it a little simpler for me. Have no fear. I've already took the steps to do that. What you can do is you can head over to the main site, anthonyaroundtown.com, and just hit stay connected. And what that page is going to do is it's just going to take your name and your email address, and it's going to send that to me. And that is going to allow me to add you to our weekly email list, our email newsletter, if you will, where every Monday I compile all the new content that we make here at Anthony Around Town. I put it into one email with all the titles and the links, and I just send that out to everybody who's a part of that. That's actually a good amount of people on that email list. I updated it last night. So if you're part of that email list, thank you. Again, there's several of you on there, so I really appreciate the fact that you care that much to stay up to date. But if you'd like to join that list, it's super simple. Just need your name, just need your email, and then we'll make sure you are a part of that. All right, dude. Well, I think this is going to get ready to wrap up tonight's show. Anything else that you need to throw out there before we get out of here? This is a later episode. We went a whole hour this week.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Thank you for hanging out with us for an hour.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in there. Appreciate it.
Last thing that I'm going to throw in there is my entire list of like the 120 shows that I think deserves a shout out.
Oh, I thought you were going to give us your list of demands for birthday presents.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not that conceited.
All right. So,
either way.
Let's sing happy birthday one more time. A happy birthday song to Matt. Happy birthday to Matt. You were cooler than a frozen cat. You were nicer than a baseball bat. And you are the best friend that has ever sat.
Was that the same one?
No, that was the remix.
Oh, okay.
So happy birthday, bro.
Well, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate our audience.
All right. So that's going to do it for this rendition of the Anthony Around Town show. Until next time.
Catch you later.
See you around, Elko.